Hello everyone. Bonjour. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much. This is the first time for me to be here, and I am so excited to share my last 15 years know-how and journey with this amazing city. So entire presentation starting with this quote, because this quote exactly describing our vision. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysteries. It is the source of all true art and all science. I'm going to start with the very formal information about the studio, but time after the time I'm trying to give it much more deeply emotional informations about our process and creative pipeline. We are Ouchhh. We won a couple of awards like a Red Dot Design Award, ADC Award, German Design Award, International Design Award, Asia Design Award from Los Angeles, New York, Germany, Seoul, almost every continent. Last 15 years, we created more than 75 art pieces around the world for 75 cities and countries. But this is not one-man show. This is not one-man show. More than 45 people working as an in-house team. And the team consists of very talent from AI artists, engineers, academicians, coders, designers, new media artists, architects, and all that people seeing one vision for making hybrid public arts. We collaborated with the huge, respectful scientific places around the world, like NASA, CERN, SAT Montreal, Mori Museum Tokyo, Art Science Museum Singapore, and also festivals, world biggest festivals, we collaborated with them, like Coachella Festival, Signal Light Festival, White Night Melbourne, Barcelona Light Festival. And also governments, we collaborate with the Chinese government, Abu Dhabi governments, and also brand sides. We collaborate with the luxury brands like Bulgari, Hennessy, Nike, Audi, Mercedes, who's the interesting new media fields. But basically we're trying to integrate art, science, and technology inside of the public spaces in a meaningful way. We already used every type of audiovisual technology in the world, AR, VR, XR, LED screens, projectors, everything. And we are strictly using last 15 years data, and last 6 years around, we are making collaboration with the AI algorithms. But during all that high technological using and the algorithms, actually we are not technology-based studio, we are idea-based. So it means idea always comes first. And we're trying making happen that idea with the exist technology. But generally it's not easy because we had to hack the technology for making happen that unique idea. And for interior and exterior, we transform to every architectural place as a canvas. Even this air we can use as a canvas for our art pieces. But the thing is, for the entire art pieces, it's not just the contemporary art. We are trying to create a kind of the cinematic experiences in a poetic way at the public spaces. So we can say that. And we are using the different type of the data universes from the different fields. Like sometimes we collect data from space, sometimes we collect data from brain, sometimes we collect data from the climate change data. So basically we can say this is Ouchhh. 14 years. Thank you so much. So this is the first art on the wall in humanity history, 40,000 years ago in Indonesia. My presentation is starting with that, but we will come back end of my presentation to do that slide. Because when I saw the paints, I think about what was the motivation for that guy paint that things on the wall. Because the rest of the community, hunting for the foods, but the one person make the decision the paint on the wall at that moment. And right now we are talking about in this room, 40,000 years later. We will come back to this topic. So 14 years, this is our main motto, data as a paint, algorithm as a brush. So it means we have a mindset like a 400 years ago painters, like a Van Gogh, Leonardo. And we're trying to understand and discover the intersection of the multidimensional worlds as a hybrid environment that redefines the future of the art. That's the big question, fundamental question. What does it mean to be an artist in the 21st century with AI and technology? So we try to investigate those 14 years, but we discover and realize AI is not a tool. AI is a friend, like a collaborator. So we are living the infinite ping-pong collaboration moments between us and algorithm. I'm gonna show you more than 100 different data archives from the different universes, and this is the first universe we will unlock, AI data from paints. That was the Milano, Arco della Pace, and we collected data more than 342 artists, and we are talking about the 20,000 paints from the Italian art history, and including to their architectural history. That was the first AI data sculpture as a 360 experience and installation. And you can see the entire hour of data flow, creation pipeline, and also the technical challenges on the one page, in the one page, like this. So that was the huge challenge for us because this is huge monumental installation, and we would like to also use the anamorphic rendering, increasing to the depth from that monumental installation and transforming to that giant physical installation as a data sculpture, AI data sculpture. So we covered the entire that place with the projectors, but the thing is, according to your position, the experience always changing. And end of the day, we're trying to create a kind of the poetic experience for the people using that history. And that's the interesting, we create a kind of the portal to that history with the AI in center of the heart of the Milano. But also we really like to create a different type of the immersive experience version of it. Right now, we can say more than 10 million people experience our immersive experiences around the world from the different continents, from every age, every religion. What about our nature? So we really love to making highlights about our planet's problems. For example, this one is the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa. We used real-time data from the Dubai city, climate change data, population, traffic, air pollution, and everything become together for making that data sculpture in publicly. That was the first time one artist featured more than 8 times on the Burj Khalifa surface, which is us. And Singapore Art Science Museum. Actually, that was one of my dream. They collaborated with the Art Science Museum because this is the so iconic building, and we transformed it like this. The Singapore city is one of the best about the sustainability. They really care about the environment. But by the way, for every project, we try to create our own complex experiential creative process. What is it meaning? So right now, actually, you can see the creative process in this page. We're trying to create a kind of the system according to our artistic obsessive decisions. But it's supposed to be that system also something physical on publicly, which is you can experience with your naked eyes. For that project, we collected data from the 20 different satellites about climate change data. And that data we are using to the different type of the AI algorithm for understanding to the classifications. So we are using the different type of the AI classifications codes for create the new latent spaces. The latent spaces, it means we are creating a kind of the 100-dimensional data with the AI from the 3-dimensional data. Then after that, there is another the process for the painting part. We are using the different type of the softwares, like a Houdini, Cinema 4D, processing, VVV, and classifications codes made by Python coding from our studio. We are using every type of the AI algorithm in the world from the beginning, but also we really love to invent our new algorithms. But it's not enough, because we're trying to build a kind of the bridges between the different fields. Different fields, it means that some of them about the computer science, the other one is the data science, the other one is the visualization, and the last one about the artistic decisions with that physical audiovisual equipments. During the process, we are living to too many bugs and fails. But end of the day, when we put to our art piece, and it's gonna be always poetic and nice. So for the making highlights that kind of our planet problems, it might be progressive, right? But I am not interested in putting to the progressive something. I am interested in showing to the beauty behind that situation, which is the only way maybe we can take attention from the people about this serious problem. So for this artwork, we call it the Mother Earth, because our planet is a kind of our mother. Can we transform invisible universe to visible for public art? This is another thing, you know, that every artist has a problem about the physical words and making about the reality like us. We're trying to understand and research blurry areas between the physical and the art piece places. So this one is the interesting project, because from the beginning we always collaborate with the scientists, because we believe to the scientific background for each artwork, it's make much more real and meaningful. For this artwork, we collaborate with the CERN. The CERN, one of the world's biggest particle collide place in Europe, and they are trying to understand the universe with the experiential scientific techniques. So we had a chance work with the, wait a minute. We had a chance work with the world's best 16 machine learning professors from NYU, MIT, and Harvard. Right now, actually, you are seeing to the two subatomic particle collides movements from the machine perception. Machine trying to understand secret relationships between their dark machine projects. They call it the dark machine, by the way. It was the amazing educational process between us. For example, when I made my first Zoom meeting with the DAT professors, it was crazy, because I'm trying to explain to that code numbers can transform as a poetic experiences. According to their point of view, that numbers always represent to something scientific conclusions, right? But from our point of views, we're trying to create a kind of the poetic experiences with that numbers. And that was a long-term relationship and collaboration with them, like 5 years around. Every year, we have been doing that kind of art pieces for them. So for this one, for the TEDx CERN, we use the quantum physics data for making to that 360 experience. So that was actually the half, focus on the half of the particle, but that particle became a kind of the data sculpture, and we featured on the TEDx CERN. And we created the different size of that installation around the world. For example, this one is the 20 diameter version of it. 650,000 people experienced just one night. What about the data from underground? I really love to make research and development about some ancient cultures. This is my obsessive behavior. This one is about the Greek, but the biggest one, it was this. This is one of my lifetime dream, using the Petra. The Petra is a very interesting place in Jordan. We collaborate with the Jordan government. That was the first time the Petra surface became a data sculpture in publicly. It was a 1 month installation, more than 100,000 people experienced. For that project, we collected data about Nebati's legacy. Diversity was amazing, by the way. You can see the different type of the cultures, paths inside of their lifestyle. The Greeks, Egyptian, Middle East, everything. So every culture, you can see the codes inside of that DNAs. So according to that project, if you want to see the artwork, you have to walk 20 minutes around between the rocks in the dark. Imagine there is only way you can access by walk, and when you arrive that place, it's totally natural immersive place. For that artwork, name of the artwork, statement of the artwork, sound of the artwork, and the content and storytelling of the artwork, we make the collaboration with the different AI algorithms. But we don't like to put the raw outputs from the AI on the walls. This is infinite and ping pong moments too many times between us and algorithms. I would like to explain. What if this is the language of the gods, the world's first archaeological database powered by a large language model? I am so obsessively like to the Egyptian culture. For example, I can give an example about my obsessive following about the culture. I have a boy, 5 years old, and his name is Ra. There is no any boy who has a name Ra in Egypt. So that was the interesting project, because beginning of the project we think about what if we can create the art piece also, it might be that art piece useful for the scientific community. That art piece also can be a tool for them. So specifically we focus on that behavior for this project. This is living architectural installation. And we announced that in Cairo. We collaborate with the Grand Egyptian Museum for it. Imagine that large language model can find some enigmas, the hiding inside of the 6,000 years enigmas. And archaeologists and scientists can make research inside of that 6,000 years. And another possibility, which is the amazing one, imagine you are an archaeologist and you found some stone tablets and some hieroglyphs disappear because of the time issues, and our AI can feel it. Our AI can show to the possibilities the rest of the stone tablet information, which is the amazing information for the scientists and also tool. So it means, as you know, design is solving problems and arts makes questions. But what if we can create art also same time useful for humanity? So that was our challenge. But in entire story starting with this fundamental paper from the Alan Turing. It was like 17 years ago when I saw that paper. The Alan Turing published that scientific paper in 1950. And according to that paper, that was the first question, can machine think? It was an amazing question. It's changed my life because during to that time, imagine the computers made by wooden. So it means it's so timeless question. And I'm thinking about to change the entire my creative pipeline as an artist with that question. We asked the same question with the different senses. And 2018, every project starting with the big question in our studio. For this project, can we create super scientist consciousness by using machine learning and AI algorithms? 2018, it means there is no ChatGPT, there is no Midjourney, nothing. So limited open source algorithms in publicly you can access. So for that project, we don't have any idea we can create something like this. So we started to work research and development, what kind of algorithms we can use it. Atelier de Lumière opened the first digital museum in Paris, and that was the commission artwork for us. And their brief was so simple. We wanted something new, world first, and wow. And we created Poetic AI. So according to that idea, we collected data from the famous scientists' books like Einstein, Hawking, Galileo, who is the change destiny of the world, right? And we created 20 million lines books from the PDF files. And we created our own AI algorithm made by Python coding. You can see the left side top, RNN table. And right now, our AI algorithm reading that 20 million lines books and rendering new sentences. That sentences going to our animation structure. Then after that, that output going to on the walls with the 146 projectors simultaneously. This part is the T-scene algorithm. T-scene algorithm making connection between the words and create the new words. So every particle actually inside of the documentation video, you will see that, represent the AI words. So we created world biggest AI exhibition. It's never done before, to collect to that kind of the huge amount of audiovisual equipment inside of the one space, one giant space, and with the 50 key pixel rendering. That was the 3 chapters. Chapter 1, you can experience our source data archives. And chapter 2, you can observe AI process, how AI can understand entire that books and words, and what was the pipeline for the AI. And third part, the final output from the AI. According to that storytelling, it was crazy because when you enter that site, you could experience glimpse, brush and paints. It's describing to the traditional art. But after the 15 minutes, Poetic AI, that was just black and white, and it looks like hanging around the machine brain. And we suddenly became famous in Paris. We featured on newspaper, and everywhere. And approximately the 1 million people experience in 9 months. You could see the deadline in front of the door every day. And we featured on TEDx CERN. We had a chance to exhibit the same artwork stage of the TEDx CERN, which is a so respectful community. But after this exhibition, something happening crazy. The director of the Mission Impossible movie saw our Poetic AI. And they connected, the Paramount Pictures connected with us, and they wanted to integrate our Poetic AI inside of the latest Mission Impossible movie. So that was the process between artists and the Hollywood movie studio. There are too many things we had to handle: IP usage and creation process, what's supposed to be inside of the movie, that art piece. So there are multiple topics we could handle it. The last summer, if you saw the movie, there is a character entity and chasing to Tom Cruise during the entire movie. And that art piece actually created by us, we called to the Poetic AI. And last summer, $500 million box office.
The biggest.
And you can see our names, literally end of the end credits, like this before the logo.
Are you okay?
So we collected data from scientific books, underground, from the space, climate change, two subatomic particle collide movement. So there are too many universes which is not you cannot experience with your naked eyes. But this one is the very special one, the machine brain and human brain for real-time cognitive AI painting. For this project, we collaborate with the opera. That was one of the interesting invitation from the Saudi Cultural District from the Abu Dhabi. Right now, Abu Dhabi is changing their city life and experience with the arts. They built the Lure Abu Dhabi, as you know, Guggenheim on the way, Curiosity from TeamLab. So that was the huge renovation for them. But also they want to create a kind of the noise on the online with the campaign. So they invited us to create art piece for that purpose. According to that purpose, we made the interview with the great minds, like Norman Foster from the UK, Will.i.am, Idris Elba, and the director of the Guggenheim, the director of the TeamLab. But during that interview, we are putting the very special device to their head. And this is real-time creation behind them using the 5 different data from their brains. Maybe Oprah can explain better than me.
Saadiyat Cultural District is a journey into the heart of curiosity and creativity. But what if I told you we're about to see this passion transform into data murals, presenting a rare glimpse into their minds and what moves them?
Yeah, it was the amazing experience because we had to build that art piece around the world 6 times in Los Angeles, New York, Abu Dhabi, in London. That was the huge and expensive production. This is the last one, from my childhood, the 5 years old, when I was living in my hometown. There was the summer cinema house, and every time I went to that cinema in a secret way, and I watched too many amazing the classics, like Back to the Future, Terminator. All of them, the huge inspired to me. And during that time, and including E.T. by the way, I had a dream, putting something from us, from me, on the space. And one of my childhood dream came true with this project. So we collaborated with the CERN for that artwork, the Human Cell Atlas project. For that project, our main question was, can we create an artistic self-portrait of humanity with AI? Actually, right now it's so simple. You can open the ChatGPT with the $20, and you can put that prompt, and you can get to too many very nice visuals and pictures, right? But the problem is with that language models trained by visual-based database. So it means that language model will create the visual database description, information. But what if we can fit the AI with the scientific data? So for this project, we collected data from the Human Cell Atlas project. The Human Cell Atlas project, they invented 2016. More than 2,000 institutes came together. And our aim was to create one of the biggest data archived about the human body. They collected 37.2 trillion human cells. Imagine, it's crazy. So that data archive they shared with the scientific community. But we used that data for create the self-portrait of the humanity. It was a huge challenge because the huge data amount, we have to face it and handle it and understand with the different ways. And during that process, we created our own custom softwares and algorithms.
So, it's an animation created by the creative
So that was the Sparks event in the CERN. And we shared the first version of that self-portrait of humanity project at that event. During the event, we received the interesting invitation from the SpaceX. I'm going to tell you. So you can see, by the way, right now, the machine perception. And we used different type of the AI models, some of them from our side, some of them publicly available, like a diffusion models. And when we used that with that data and AI, we realized that there's an amazing artistic canvases living inside of us. For each of the cells making art with a different perception. And our artistic odyssey involved tapping into single cell RNA sequence data. We navigated through a myriad of pre-processing, normalization, and unveiling the enigmas of 100-dimensional data sets like this. So it means we could transform that micro world as a macro installation in a physical way. But it's not enough. When we received that SpaceX project, Institute Machines, and Institute Machines' aim was to create the first space art performance. They invited Jeff Koons, also more than 300 artists, and they created the first digital museum in the space. Entire Human Cell Atlas project recorded with the nanotechnology on the nanodisk in New York. Then after that, we put that disk on the surface SpaceX rocket. And the last February, we sent that SpaceX rocket to the moon. This is another installation, entrance area of the Kennedy Space Center about the Human Cell Atlas project. This is interesting, the opportunity to create a different type of the possibilities from the same artwork. Every time it's resizing, changing the shell, and changing to the storytelling, using to the same idea and data archives. And we're trying to actually make a connection between the humanity and the cosmos. This is the real footages from the rocket. You can see the complexity, the more than 300 people working on this little device. You can see the position of the disk, and this is the exact structure of the entire machine. And that's the moment from our moon landing. So 1972, this is the first touch. And this is the latest touch from our side, 2024. And it was so memorable moment for us. And interesting things come together again. For the artwork, this is the first time the Cannes Film Festival invited us, putting to the Human Cell Atlas project as a VR version. That was the first time in history of that festival as an official selection inside of their festival. And we created different type of the version. For example, this one is the London, Alternate London. We created the immersive version of it at the Digital Art Week. Right now, the more than 2 million people already experience around the world. And I would like to show to the art piece, actual art piece. Wait a minute. So if we come back to the first picture, 40,000 years ago in the cave, and right now the surface on the moon, actually we have the same motivation exactly with that caveman. We're trying to put our know-how, lifestyle, art purpose, and sharing with next generations. This is the moment from our moon landing.
Yeah!
And thank you so much.
Oh, that's great.